The newest exhibit at the Anniston Museum of Natural History is a force to be reckoned with.
Lots of clouds across East Alabama today. How long will the clouds hang around? We'll have the complete weekend forecast coming up.
It's Friday, which means week 3 of the high school football season is here. We'll tell you about it coming up in sports. EAN Local News starts now.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Oxford Lumber. Come visit any of our locations in Oxford, Jacksonville, Talladega, and Roanoke.
Good evening, and thank you for watching East Alabama Now Local News for Friday, September 15th, 2023. I'm Mike Stedham.
And I'm Katie Edwards.
A new hands-on children's exhibit opened Saturday at the Anniston Museum of Natural History, and it might just blow you and your family away. The exhibit highlights how nature's forces, air, fire, earth, and water, impact the planet. It features tornado and earthquake simulators, and it offers virtual tours of the underwater world and a bird's eye view of forest fires. Alan Robinson, the executive director of the Anniston Museum and Gardens, spoke with EAN Friday from inside the exhibit.
Well, this is Force Factory. It's our brand new children's interactive gallery dedicated to telling the story of the forces of nature, what it is that acts upon our earth, what they are, how they are, and what do we have to do in relation to them. The earth is the factory that creates these forces, and so we have visually made that factory something that's tactile, that uses your hands to learn about all of these forces.
That exhibit replaces Nature Space, a hands-on kids exhibit that highlighted the wooded world, and it was almost 30 years old.
Its technology was antiquated, and the stories and the subject material was no longer in comportment with the state standards of Alabama.
The museum worked with educators, emergency management officials, and meteorologists to develop the content to ensure it was scientifically accurate and tailored to reach the museum's youngest patrons, delivering accurate information in a hands-on format.
It's really interesting. We have 21 total interactive things to do in this space, which is very good for a 1,200 square foot space. There's so many ways that you can learn about how this earth operates and does. I'm a great fan of all of them. It's very hard for me to pick one over the other, but the opportunity to fly a helicopter and start a controlled burn or put out a wildfire, to drive a submarine down to the depths of the ocean looking for animals, feeling what those winds are like for a tornado or an earthquake, learning by doing, by art creation. We're fully cognizant of all of the STEAM standards, so there's ways for you to engage with us through art, building. For the very young, you can build in this gallery as well. So you can spend in this one gallery hours of your day and never stop learning.
Force Factory was a $600,000 project funded by the Anniston Museum Endowment Corporation, community civic groups, area businesses, and individual donors. Each sponsor is named in the exhibit, and several $2,500 sponsorship opportunities remain, Robinson said. When we come back, a rabid fox has been found by officials in Clay County.
For over 60 years, Oxford Lumber has been servicing our area, and our customer service has always been our main focus. Our customer service is what sets us apart from anyone else. From the moment you enter, our highly trained staff will treat you like family.
To enthusiastically provide total customer satisfaction within a positive and self-fulfilling employee relations environment. Visit us at any of our 4 locations or at oxfordlumber.com.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by WM Grocery, located in Heflin, Wadowee, Roanoke, and in Piedmont.
State health officials have confirmed that a fox captured in Ashland a few days ago has tested positive for rabies. This has led them to once again stress the importance of getting pets vaccinated against the deadly disease. According to AL.com, the fox was reported to local law enforcement after it was seen acting strangely and stumbling. Police captured the animal and it tested positive for rabies. No other animals were known to be exposed, but there were several unvaccinated domestic animals on the property where the animal was found. Officials with the Alabama Department of Public Health say the fox is having additional tests to identify the strain of rabies. Wildlife, especially raccoons, pose a risk of rabies to other animals and humans. Health officials say the best protection is to keep your animal current on rabies vaccines.
When we come back, we'll tell you about a cleanup project planned for South Anniston next week.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Waldrop Manufacturing, metal buildings made right here in Calhoun County.
The Anniston Changers will be back for another service project next weekend. This time, volunteers will be working the neighborhoods around Constantine Park. The public's invited to work with the group from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. next Saturday, September the 23rd. Volunteers will meet at Constantine Park, 1501 Constantine Avenue, and the work will mainly focus on mowing properties and litter pickup. Workers are asked to bring lawnmowers, landscaping tools, and gloves if they can. Refreshments and fellowship will be provided to every person who volunteers. As always, you can register to help the volunteers on their website at www.annistonchangers.com.
Also coming up next weekend is a United Nations Day Tea hosted by the International House at Jacksonville State University. This is the biggest annual multicultural event on campus, and students will be displaying the value of the International House program through cultural performances. All students, faculty, staff, alumni, and community members are invited to attend.
Well, another big football weekend coming up, and lots of homecoming things going on. Other people have big plans for Saturday.
Yes, they do, and it would be nice to not be wet as you go through those activities.
Don't you think so? I think that's a good idea. And who knows better about whether they're going to be wet or not than John Holder, who's standing by in the EAN Weather Center. John, we going to have any rain?
Mike and Katie, a little bit of an unsettled pattern coming in for the weekend. High rain chances tomorrow, but not a whole lot of rainfall. We'll explain coming up next.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
With all of the cloud cover and some sprinkles and rain showers around the area this afternoon, temperatures way below the average. We only topped out at 79 degrees today. That's about 7 degrees below the average for the middle part of September. Our low this morning at 68 degrees, which was above average. Record high temperature 99 degrees, the record low at 49 degrees. And you see the sunrise and sunset times. Look at that sunset time tonight. 10 minutes until 7 o'clock with the sunset on your Friday evening. And your Friday night weather on your street, going to take out to Smith Boozer Road and Crystal Springs out in northern Calhoun County. A few passing showers tonight. Not storms, but a few passing light rain showers tonight. 68 for the nighttime low. Most of that will be in the early part of the evening tonight out at Crystal Springs. As we move into your Saturday, Light showers at times. Center Avenue, downtown Piedmont, going to be a little wet possibly at times. Here's the deal. Chance of rain tomorrow is actually very high at 70%. A lot of clouds around. It's going to look rainy all day, but there's not a lot of rain. We're not looking at heavy downpours, thunderstorms, anything like that. Just a high rain chance that you may see a passing shower at some point tomorrow afternoon in Piedmont and the rest of Calhoun and Cleveland counties. Look at that high tomorrow again, only 79 degrees. And I think you're going to love the forecast for next week. Ossington Avenue out at McClellan, beautiful part of the country. That is one of the best places to go take a walk or a stroll or a run. And next week will be perfect for that. We're going to have warm days. We're going to have cool nights, plenty of sunshine, no rain in the forecast. Highs next week will be in the 80s. Nighttime lows will be mainly in the 50s next week. Really awesome weather coming up next week as we move into the second half of the month of September across East Alabama. There's the 7-day forecast. You'll love it after the weekend. A 70% chance of showers tomorrow, about a 30% chance of a shower on Sunday, and heating up back into the mid-80s. And then look at this stretch of weather coming beginning on Monday as you head back to work and school. We'll have temperatures up in the low 80s, nighttime lows 57 degrees on Monday morning. Tuesday morning will be the cool morning, 56 degrees. You will have a touch of fall in the air for sure. 58 degrees again, 3 mornings in a row with lows in the 50s across East Alabama. And look at those 80s, low 80s, upper 50s, low 60s, no chance of rain in the forecast. Just about one of the best weather weeks that we're going to have all year long across East Alabama coming up. Here's a look at tomorrow and what we think is going to happen. The further east you go, the higher chance of seeing some showers and maybe a rumble of thunder. But look at this. Over at the western side of the state, they're going to be in the upper 80s. They'll be close to 90 degrees over on the Mississippi border. But for us here in East Alabama, 78 in Anniston, 77 in Gadsden, even 79 at Auburn, 79 in Ellick City, 70s all across the eastern side of the state because of 2 reasons. One, we'll have more rain here, as you see, chance of rain about 75% tomorrow here on the eastern side of the state, and that means a lot of clouds, so we don't have that sunshine that they'll have on the western side of the state, and that's why we're going to see the cooler temperatures here across East Alabama. Hey, all weekend long, coming up on Saturday morning, Sunday morning, and Monday morning, check out my breakfast and morning forecast, 6 a.m. sharp, right here. And, of course, we'll be back on Monday evening with a complete in-depth look at the weather forecast for all of East Alabama. Right now, homecoming, Oxford and Huffman. That's tonight. Chase Robinson has the details right now in sports.
Thanks, John. It's time for week 3 of the high school football season. The Oxford Yellow Jackets will look to remain undefeated tonight as they take on Huffman. The Yellow Jackets, for the first time this season, come into the game in 6A ranked in the top 10. Senior Jaden Thomas and junior DK Wilson have brought much-needed depth and versatility at running back for the Yellow Jackets. Both of these players have been great help to Oxford this year.
And in 6A football, if you've only got one running back, I mean, you're going to run into some bad situations over the course of the season. And those guys they each have a different kind of skill set, and they bring something a lot different to the table. So, and we can play them both at the same time. We did that a few times the other night. And DK can also play in the slot as a receiver type position, and JT's lined up in the slot a couple times this year. So, we like how multiple that we can be with those guys, and they both can be very explosive.
The Yellow Jackets welcome in Huffman this week. The Vikings yet to win a game. Coach Adams talks about the mindset for his team coming into this homecoming game.
They're struggling. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I think what's important when you play a game like this is just to make sure that we get off to the start that we need to get off to, and don't allow them to build any confidence as the game goes on. And really, every week we game plan for opponents and all that kind of stuff, and try to take advantage of things we feel like we can. But each week the message is very similar regardless of the team that we're playing, whether it's the number 1 team in the state or the last team in the state. It's just to be the best version of us and execute the things that we're asked to do, and then just let the chips fall where they may.
Let's take a look at tonight's games across East Alabama. Region games here. Alexandria will play host to Lincoln. You've got the big Anniston-Jacksonville game tonight. Cherokee County plays host to Aniana. Cleburne County plays host to Boaz. You've got Wadley and Donahoe. Glencoe is at Westbrook Christian. White Plains plays host to Hanley. You've got Hoax Bluff at Geraldine. Munford hosting Talladega. Top 10 matchup here is Ohatchee plays host to Sylvania. You've got Huffman at Oxford. Piedmont goes on the road to Plainview. Pleasant Valley is at Holly Pond tonight. You've got Ranburne hosting B.B. Comer. Raglan hosting Randolph County. Saxe plays host to Dadeville. Southside at home, they've got Springville. Spring Garden hosts Victory Christian. Weaver's got a home game tonight against Childersburg. And the Walter Welborn Panthers play host to Beulah. Let's take a look at some local volleyball scores from last night as area play continues. It was a rematch of last year's 2A state championship, and it was Pleasant Valley getting a win this time. They swept Donahoe 3-0. Alexandria got the 3-0 win over Lincoln. It was Ohatchee taking care of Weaver 3-0. Also in Class 4A, Jacksonville beat White Plains 3-0. And Welborn won over Piedmont 3-0. That's it for sports. Let's head back over to Katie and Mike.
Thank you for watching East Alabama Now Local News.
You can find us here online every weekday evening on either Facebook or YouTube. Just go to our video feed and watch the news whenever it's convenient for you.
Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here Monday for your news on your schedule.